Bruce Lee was not just a martial artist, but also a life philosopher who pushed the boundaries of human potential. Behind his success lay not innate talent alone, but powerful habits he consciously built. Habits are our invisible architects, determining who we are and what kind of life we live. Bruce Lee deliberately developed habits such as awareness, discipline, flexibility, and continuous learning throughout his life. These habits made him a legend in martial arts, a revolutionary in cinema, and a philosopher whose voice transcends time. The good news is that these habits are not innate talents but practical principles anyone can apply to their life. In this video we will explore step by step 7 powerful habits that transformed Bruce Lee's life. If you are ready, let us begin your own journey of transformation. 1. The morning silence habit. Bruce Lee would start every day by silencing his mind, and this habit formed the foundation of his ability to stay focused throughout the day. Instead of checking his phone, looking at the news, or getting caught up in the day's rush right after waking up, he would first spend time alone with himself. What did he do during these moments of silence? Sometimes he meditated, sometimes he took deep breaths, and sometimes he simply sat quietly, observing his own mind. According to him, the early morning hours were when the mind was most clear and the most valuable time to set intentions that would shape the rest of the day. He would silence his phone, allow no one to disturb him, and never neglect this sacred time. This habit allowed him to hear his own inner voice before being overwhelmed by the noise of the outside world. In the rush of daily life, most of us are bombarded with external stimuli the moment we wake up, causing us to spend the entire day in reactive mode. However, when we develop the habit of morning silence like Bruce Lee, we take control of our day rather than handing it over to others. This habit not only provides mental clarity but also reduces our stress levels and helps us make more conscious decisions throughout the day. Bruce Lee's morning routine was perhaps one of the most important secrets behind his productivity and focus. To incorporate this habit into your life, simply setting aside 10 to 15 minutes each day is enough. Put your phone away, find a quiet corner, and focus simply on your breath. You will notice the quality of your decisions improving and yourself becoming calmer and more in control. Morning silence is the most powerful habit that sets the tone for your entire day. 2. The be water habit. Bruce Lee's most famous philosophy is be water, and this is essentially a mental habit, being flexible, dancing with change rather than resisting it. What is the nature of water? When it enters a cup, it becomes the cup. When it enters a bottle, it becomes the bottle. When it enters a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water is never rigid, never gets stuck in one form, it adapts to every condition. Bruce Lee applied this flexibility to every area of his life. In martial arts, he didn't cling to rigid styles. He discarded what was useless, took what was useful, and constantly reinvented himself. In his film career, he showed the same flexibility, blending East and West, creating new forms of expression, stepping outside established patterns. According to him, the greatest danger was becoming rigidly attached to an idea, a belief, or a method and becoming imprisoned within it. Life is constantly changing, conditions are constantly transforming, yet insisting on staying the same is essentially choosing to stagnate. The be water habit is the ability to be flexible in our careers, our relationships, and our beliefs. It is finding a new path when our plans don't work out instead of falling apart. It is trusting the flow and charting new courses when things don't go our way. This habit makes us resilient against life's hard blows rather than fragile, because when you try to cut water, it finds a new path. Bruce Lee's water metaphor also describes our relationship with our ego. Rigid egos break, while flexible egos adapt to any condition and remain unbroken. In which areas of your life are you rigid? Which beliefs are holding you captive? You can develop the be water habit by asking yourself these questions. 3. The continuous learning habit. Bruce Lee never stopped improving himself and remained a student until his last breath. This habit transformed him from an ordinary fighter into a legend. Even though he already had a style of his own, he never hesitated to study other styles or learn from other masters. He practiced boxing, studied fencing, read philosophy, explored science, and even learned dance because, according to him, everything was interconnected. His philosophy of take what is useful, reject what is useless, was actually a result of continuous learning because you cannot choose without learning. Bruce Lee's library spanned a wide range from martial arts to philosophy, from psychology to science. He believed that knowledge was a unified whole and drew nourishment from every field. The habit of continuous learning allowed him to develop not only as a martial artist but also as a thinker and an artist. This habit liberates us from stagnation, keeps our minds alive, and enables us to see new opportunities. Today there is a widespread understanding that limits learning to school or formal education. Yet true learning happens in every moment of life. To become someone who continuously learns like Bruce Lee, you can consciously choose the books you read, the documentaries you watch, and the podcasts you listen to. Reading just 20 minutes a day allows you to finish dozens of books in a year. Talking to people from different fields and picking up insights from their areas of expertise is also a wonderful way to learn. The most important aspect of Bruce Lee's continuous learning habit was that he questioned what he learned and created his own synthesis. Don't just store what you learn. Adapt it to your life, add your own interpretation, and share it. Remember, knowledge is not power, applied knowledge is power. 4. The Be Yourself habit. Bruce Lee refused to be shaped by others' expectations and made the habit of carving his own unique path the center of his life. When Hollywood told him, "You can't get roles with your Chinese accent," he didn't give up. He founded his own production company and played by his own rules. When the martial arts world told him, "You're disrespecting traditional styles," he continued to create his own path. According to him, the greatest betrayal was walking the path others had drawn for you because that path was not yours. His words, "A good fighter must be flexible. Have a style but do not get stuck in it," apply to every area of life. The Be Yourself habit means preserving your uniqueness, not becoming a copy of others. This habit is perhaps the most important habit today when social media tries to mold everyone into the same pattern. Looking at what others wear, what they eat, where they travel, and comparing your own life to theirs is the greatest trap that steals our uniqueness. Bruce Lee paid the price for being himself. He was criticized, ostracized, and even threatened at times, but he never gave up. Because he knew that the most valuable thing he could contribute to the world was his own unique perspective that belonged only to him. To develop the Be Yourself habit, you first need to know yourself. What are your strengths? What do you love? What makes you happy? The answers to these questions are your roadmap. Then, when others' expectations conflict with your own desires, you must have the courage to listen to your own voice. As Bruce Lee said, "I am not here to live up to your expectations, and you are not here to live up to mine." The Be Yourself habit is freedom itself. 5. The Take Action habit. Bruce Lee knew that knowledge alone meant nothing. True value lay in action. His words, "Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do," summarize his take action habit. Many people know, think, and plan but never take a step. Bruce Lee, on the other hand, would integrate everything he learned into his life immediately. When he learned a new technique during training, he would repeat it hundreds of times until he mastered it. When an idea came to mind, he would immediately write it down and act on it that same day if possible. He knew there was a vast gap between thinking and doing, and he would say the only way to bridge that gap was to take the first step. The take action habit is about not falling into the trap of perfectionism. Most of us delay action by saying, "I'm not ready yet," or "I need more information." Bruce Lee would say that you are never fully ready, and the best way to learn is by doing. We should not fear making mistakes because mistakes are the building blocks of success. The most effective way to develop the take action habit is the 5-second rule. When you need to do something, take action within 5 seconds. Otherwise, your brain will produce 1,000 excuses. Looking at Bruce Lee's training regimen, you see that he never said, "It's okay if I skip today," but worked with discipline every day. Stop procrastinating in your life, stop waiting. Start small but start. Write one page, make one phone call, go for one walk. Every great achievement begins with one small step. Bruce Lee's take action habit transformed him from an ordinary martial artist into one of the world's most renowned artists. 6. The mental detox habit. Bruce Lee knew that when the mind is filled with unnecessary thoughts, it cannot see clearly, so he developed the habit of regularly practicing mental detox. His empty cup metaphor is essentially a call for mental cleansing. You cannot put anything new into a cup that is already full. He would meditate daily, go for walks in nature, and sometimes remain silent for days. All of this was to clear his mind of unnecessary thoughts, others' expectations, regrets of the past, and anxieties about the future. The mental detox habit is one of the habits we need most today. Every day we are bombarded with hundreds of advertisements, thousands of notifications, countless news stories, and endless social media alerts. In this intensity, it becomes nearly impossible to hear our own voice and clarify our own thoughts. Bruce Lee set boundaries between himself and the digital world, consciously keeping unnecessary information out. According to him, the mind had limited capacity, and filling it with worthless things meant leaving no room for valuable ones. To develop the mental detox habit, we must first question our information consumption. Which news sites do we follow? Which social media accounts truly add value to us? Removing the unnecessary from our lives is the first step of mental detox. Then we must set aside time each day to empty our minds. Meditation, walking in nature, journaling, sitting quietly in a corner. Choose whichever method works for you. Bruce Lee's empty cup philosophy is also about being open to learning. A mind that is full is closed to new information, new perspectives. Mental detox is not just about cleansing, it is also about making space for the new, the fresh, the original. 7. The balance habit. Bruce Lee developed a habit of maintaining balance in every area of life, and this balance enabled him to be both successful and at peace. He valued rest as much as training, family as much as work, flexibility as much as discipline, and peace as much as combat. According to him, balance was the fundamental principle of life, and when this balance was disrupted, everything would collapse. He constantly emphasized the importance of balancing body, mind, and spirit because these three formed a whole, and if one was missing, a person could not be complete. The balance habit means avoiding extremes. Neither being so consumed by work that you neglect family, nor avoiding responsibilities to focus only on pleasure. Neither developing only physical strength while neglecting the spiritual dimension, nor only thinking without taking action. Bruce Lee was one of the rare individuals who managed to establish these balances in his life. To develop the balance habit, you must first evaluate different areas of your life. Your body, your mind, your relationships, your career, your spiritual growth. Which of these areas are you spending too much time on and which too little? Then start dedicating a bit more time to the areas you have neglected. Looking at Bruce Lee's daily routine, we see a balanced distribution among training, reading, writing, family, and meditation. The balance habit is also about being able to say yes and no. When you say yes to one thing, you have said no to another. The important thing is to determine your priorities and channel your energy in the right direction. Bruce Lee's balance habit made him not just a successful martial artist but also a good father, a loving husband, a profound thinker, and an original artist. These 7 habits of Bruce Lee are just a part of the secrets that made him a legend. Morning silence, being like water, continuous learning, being yourself, taking action, mental detox, and maintaining balance. Each of these is a powerful practice that can create profound changes in your life. Remember, your habits determine who you are, and when you change your habits, you change your life. Just as Bruce Lee did, start integrating these habits into your life one by one today. Start small but be consistent. The small steps you take each day will, after a year, show you how far you have come. Adapt these habits to your own life, create your own synthesis, and chart your own unique path. Bruce Lee's legacy offers you a compass to discover your own potential. Now is the time to take the first step. Which habit will you bring into your life today? Thank you for watching this lesson. If you found it valuable, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who needs this message. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new lesson. Your support helps us reach more people and continue sharing Bruce Lee's timeless wisdom. Together, let's keep growing, learning, and becoming the best versions of ourselves. Subscribe now and let your transformation begin.